Hey there, Touchdesigner friends. Sean Redbeard here. I had some questions about how I do all the kind of glitchy stuff that I do, and I thought I would just show you, like, at the beginning of how I do it. I'm going to break this down into a couple other videos because um, it takes a long time to put the process together, and I kind of want to keep this to like 10, 12 minutes. So what I will do is get rid of all of this, and we'll start from the beginning. So I am going to add an operator from our create dialog, go to chop. We are going to do an audio file in, right there. We'll just use the default audio from Touchdesigner. And then we are going to, add an audio device out. Okay, there you go, you can hear it. Drop that out. We're going to add an audio spectrum right here. I'm going to change this to 2048. That's our FFT size, which is essentially our sampling rate. So I'm going to go down here and set length manually. Then we're going to make this viewer active. I'm going to right click on this, open this page, and we are going to change the units from frames to samples and grid detail from grid low to grid medium. So this gives us a nice little spread of numbers here that makes the next step in this process a lot easier. We're going to deactivate this. We're going to start with a trim. Going to add analyze. I'm going to add a math. And finally, I'm going to add a null. There we go. I'm going to select these, copy, and I'm going to paste two of them. Great. So our first thing that we do after we get these all lined up is we go to our analyze. We change this from average to maximum. That'll give us a little bump. Then we go to our math, and we change this combined channels parameter to average. So we no longer have a left and right stereo, which you can stay with if you want, but for this project, we're just going to make it an average. And our nulls, they're fine for now. So what we're going to do is go back to trim. We are going to change this from relative to start end to absolute. And we'll go for, let's see here. Let's say like around 200 to 600. And our start 200, and then our end 600. So this is taking a slice from the spectrum and isolating it here so that you have this analyze, math, and null all taking their numbers from there. All right, and let's do this 600 to, what do we got? Let's say 1100, 600 to 1100. Here. All right, capturing that. And then 1100 to around 1800 sounds good. 1100 to 1800. Tab. There we go. Cool. So I'm going to go back into the math. I'm going to go to the range, and in the to range, let's just give this, let's make this 2. That just gives us a little more oomph in there. Okay, so in our null, I'm going to change the names of these to low, mid, and high. Now, this isn't really something that's going to affect this project, as it's not really that complicated. But this is a habit that I think you really are going to want to get yourself into here, is naming your nulls, because all of your references are going to come from here. Because a null is like the period at the end of a sentence. It tells you where things start and end, and gives you a way to organize your networks that's really going to be much more helpful when you get into super complicated projects. Or just more complicated. Less complicated than this, for sure. Okay, so we'll go back to our dialog box. We'll go to tops. We'll go to movie file in. Do this, and let's do something else here. Okay, yeah, we'll go here. We'll just do what I started with. So here we are, have that one. And let's go here, we'll go back to our dialog, and let's start with a noise, and then a math, and then a lag, and then a null. Okay. Select those, copy and paste, so we have two of them. Okay, so we start with our noise. We go to common page, we put time slice on, go to our channel, and we change this from chan 1 to A. Again, something that's not really going to affect the project, but it's something that I do habitually. And I think once you start to form habits with Touchdesigner, you start to take out the need to do all of the mechanics of things and give yourself more brain power to like be a creative person, which, I mean, that's what I like doing. So we're going to go to offset. We're going to do me, which is noise1 dot par dot amp divided by 2. So what we have here is me, which is noise1, and we have the parameter, which is amp. If you click on that plus, that is the name that you want to use, divided by 2. So this offset will always be half of whatever this amplitude is. I do that because I'm not exactly sure how it works, but it prevents the noise from actually going into negative territory on these numbers. So we'll go to this math. We're going to take this and make it a round integer, so it will always be a 0 or a 1. Let's go here, and we're going to mute this lag. So there we go. That's exactly what we want to see there in our noise. Okay, we've got that going on. So we've got this math, and we're going to want to go back to here to the movie file in, selected here. Okay, the length is 6 seconds. So for here, we're not going to change the integer. What we are going to change is this number in the from. So it goes from 0 to 6. Go to our lag. Take this from 0 to 1. So this will give you a second of lag in this, which is actually super helpful in making the video like less jaggy and jumpy and crazy. Which, if you want to do that, then I guess you can just take the lag out. But for the purposes of this video, we're going to do that. So, okay, we're going to change this to null underscore q. That's what we're going to do here, and null underscore q point. Okay, so back to our movie file in. I'm going to activate these. so. And drop this into our queue. That. And we're going to drop, first, we'll change this from percentage to seconds. And then we're going to drop that into the queue points. So, okay, so you're starting to see the effect happening there. But what we want to do next is go back to noise 1. I'm going to go to null low. I like to use the bassy sounds to screw with the Q. And then in noise 2, I'm going to use the mids because I like using those. Let me activate that first and drop that into there. And there we go. Okay, so and there you go. Hopefully that's helpful for you, and you can play with this and find your own variations on it. And yeah, I'll be back with some more stuff that's, let me just turn this off, that'll hopefully be helpful to you. All right, thanks for stopping by, checking it out, and we'll see you on the next one.